Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, June 2nd, 2024. Today's video is Islam and the Price of Freedom. Um, I didn't say that part in the Arabic because probably most Muslims or most Arabic speaking people, they know that part. Islam, you may have noticed that there are so many Muslim people named Abdul. Uh, the beginning of the name start by the word Abdul. Abdul is slave of, slavery. And there is an attitude when, let's say, Jews and Christian, they believe, or at least they carry themselves as the children of God. Buddhism, I am aware, uh, those who know Japanese people especially, most of their name ends with the ending ko. Ko means child, child of the mountain, child of the sky, child of the star, child of. So they are not servants and they are not slaves. And there is big difference between servant and the slave. And when you carry yourself in such behavior, not as a son or a daughter, a child of the mountain or a child of the star or a child like I'm not sure about Hinduism, so I'm not going to speak about that, but I don't think it's that kind of slavery. Islam is the only religion that command its people to be slaves. When you digest that and you become a slave, even if you are the slave of God, you inherit certain attitude about life. For example, if somebody tells me my father's home is about to be burned, unless somebody quickly go and turn the stove off, I will run because my father's home is my home and I have to take care of my father's home. However, if I'm a slave and that person is my master and his house about to be burned, if I'm a slave, big deal. You know what? It's not my house. So you keep that attitude with you, whether you're working or doing what your master told you to do. So you do it not with the desire, like if my father or my mother tell me to do something, I will do it with the heart of love towards my parents. However, when if I'm a slave, even to God, a slave of God, and God tells me to do something, I will do it not just because God said it, because I'm afraid that this God or my master, whether it's a God or a human being who owns me, will punish me. So it's not really a good, pleasant feeling. So the Muslim and Islam the ideology of Islam brought to us that kind of slavery mentality, and you have to accept it. So somebody like Sharif Gabber, I'm going to speak today about Sharif Gabber because uh, people are talking about him, and he made a video of, for those who don't know Sharif Gabber, he's a young man, an Egyptian man, young man, and in college he came to the conclusion that there is no God. That's his business. He's an atheist. So big deal. Leave him alone. No, you cannot. Because the Prophet of Allah told us that we are to force people, to bring them with shackles in their neck and chains to the wonderful religion of Islam by force. You have to force them to accept Islam, or else, or else what? Or else what happened to Asma bint Marwan, the woman who was nursing her baby, and the Muslim guy, a follower of the founder of Islam, came and murdered her as she is nursing her baby, asleep in bed, as it was with Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf, the poet who used to criticize Muhammad. He sent him people to slaughter him, assassinated him. Okay, Qurfa, the old Jewish woman whom she criticized Muhammad, with logic, he torn her in pieces. So it's either you give up your own ideas. If you think there is no God, you must let go of this idea and you must repeat what the Prophet of Allah is telling you. Slave. And the slavery, actually, it is profitable for dictators and dictatorship. Dictators always they have to find a boogeyman to scare people off. For example, Hitler, his boogeyman was the Jews and the Christian. The Kim Jong-un in North Korea, the whole world is actually standing against him, hate him so much because he's so wonderful. So that the world is his boogeyman, and he's living in his Maduro in Venezuela. All of these dictators, whether they are Muslim dictators or communist dictators, they have to make a boogeyman for people to be scared of. So the Prophet of Allah forced people to be slaves, forced people must believe whether you accept it or not. So in a way, he is making hypocrites. But this young man, Sharif Gaber, he doesn't want to be hypocrite. He came to the conclusion that there is no God. That's his conclusion. Leave him alone. Other people come with different conclusion. Leave them alone. I came to the conclusion that Muhammad was the biggest, largest fraud in human history. But I'm speaking here after I left Egypt. Probably Sharif Gaber's mistake that he spoke about that when he was in Egypt. Also, another young man, but he managed to escape. He walked from Egypt, going south, came out of Egypt in the south part, and then he head west and back north to Tunisia. His name is Ahmad Khan, and now he's in Italy. It's unfortunate, but that is the situation today. This young man, Sharif Gaber, came in a recent video and he was crying. And he was saying, I do not want to die. And that shook many people, and rightfully so. So Sharif Gaber is feeling that he's about to die. So there are two options here. Not, I think there is no more than two options. One, he's under tremendous stress that he is contemplating suicide, or he knows that the government of Egypt is about to kill him. There's hopeful signs though, because once this video came out, so many journalists and so many people spoke of him. So it's actually out in the open. One person was telling me what to do. I told him, I answered him that he should make it as public as possible. He should actually put a video almost every day, twice a day. Appeal to the world. They're going to kill you anyway. If they're going to kill you, make a big fuss And I'm going to say, why is that a good idea? A couple of days ago, I was listening to news analysis about Donald Trump because recently they found him guilty of 34 accounts. None of them he committed tremendous amount of crime. That is the court. So to me, when I heard that, in a way, I wasn't surprised because they want to convict him anyway. So they found a way. They found a way to convict him. They found people that so biased that they convicted him. And this journalist was saying to the Democrats, you have to be very, very, very careful now because even if Trump dies from natural death now, it's on you. People will not believe that you did not do it. So you're in a dilemma now. You accused him so much and you put him in a situation you're trying to apply the Islamic and communist system to, to make a villain of somebody for the country to hate. And you are, in a way, succeeding by making him a criminal, making him a womanizer, making him whatever you want. And you are leaving actually other things that it is like the border is wide open and you're not doing anything about it. So the devil is Donald Trump. Okay, you succeeded in a way to do that. You made him look like the devil. Now, even if he dies of natural causes, it's on you. Because people, even the Democrats, many of them now say, this is too much. This has gone too far. The same thing with Sharif Gabber. You accused this young man so much, you pushed him to the verge of committing suicide. So whether you kill him or he kills himself, it's on the Egyptian government. Because if you kill him, that's a murder. And the world community will not, it will be a disaster really on the Egyptian government. Two, if he commits suicide, if he kills himself, it's on you too, because you pushed him to that point to kill himself. So either way, I see hope here. And I really encourage if Sharif Gabber listen to this, make more videos, be more open, criticize as much as you can, so that either they let you go, if they are going to kill you, they will kill you anyway. So your best hope here is to expose them as much as you can. So in a way, I really, of course, I can be 100% correct, but that could happen that they could still kill him. Okay, so here you have two types of dictators. Communist dictators, which in my opinion are more, I mean, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, Maduro in Venezuela. Yes, they are dictators and they are terrible dictators. However, in my opinion, I think they are better than the dictatorship that the founder of this hellish ideology left for us. Because these people, the communists, you can actually reason with them. And when they open their eyes and see the difference between them and other countries who practice freedom, they can see the difference and they can make a decision. Whereas a slave, that's why I spoke first about the mentality of a slave. You see, there's also a difference between slave and a servant. A servant is a person who serves. You could be a maid in a house and you get paid for your service. You clean the house or clean the store or whatever, and that's your service. You're doing cleaning. And in a way, we are all offering service to people. You do something and you get paid for that service. The largest companies in the world, they are offering certain service. Those who make Apple phones, they're offering service. Those who offer internet, they're offering service. Those who clean homes, offering service. We are all offering service to each other, and we get paid for our service. Okay, we are servants, yes, and we get paid for our service, yes. But the mentality of serving differs from the mentality and the mind of a slave. And that what Islam planted in the mind and the heart of people, that you are a slave and you ought to obey Allah and His Prophet. And you don't think. They actually say it openly. The imams or the religious, the clergies in Islamic teaching, they tell you your mind, you shouldn't use it. It's actually on many videos in Arabic. You should not, in Islam, you should obey only. You should not use your head. You should not use your mind. So somebody like Sharif Gaber came out of this box. Myself, I came out of this box. So I think, and this is a wonderful thing, but to a Muslim, this is a threat. Why is it a threat? It's a threat because you are actually rebelling when you think you are going to rebel against Allah and His boy. And when you do that, they will not have followers. They will not have slaves to control. So the dictatorship in communist countries, the top leader is controlling the whole population as slaves, okay, offering the boogeyman to his population. And unfortunately, uh, I mean, I lived in Egypt when it was kind of socialist. I was a child, but it is very similar. Socialist or communist is about the same. Okay, everybody is a villain. Everybody is about to wants to destroy Egypt, and this is nonsense. This is nonsense. So communist countries, they do the same, offer that boogeyman. And if you divert from what the leader is telling you to do, you will go to hell. The founder of Islam did the same. He was smarter because he started 1400 years ago. That's before communism, way before. Okay, he introduced that boogeyman, and you're a slave. Slave, the characteristic of a slave is not like those who serve. The characteristic of a slave is you obey and you follow. And if you rebel, we kill you. Okay? Those who criticized the founder of Islam back then, the poets, one of them, his name was Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf. I actually made a video about that, the killing of Ka'b ibn al-Ashraf. Uh, Asma bint Marwan, the woman who was nursing her baby, and the guy came, the Muslim guy, the follower of the Prophet of Allah came while she is nursing her baby, and he murdered her. The Qarfa, the woman who was an elderly Jewish woman, also she was a poet, and she criticized the Prophet of Allah. He torn her in half, literally. Okay, so the boogeyman. However, with all that, these are very bad news. There is hope for Sharif Gabber because once he put this video and he was crying, I mean, it is not easy for a man to cry. So he must be under tremendous stress. And if you have a channel, talk about that. I encourage you to talk about the more people talk because now it came out to the public and many people are talking about it. Okay. Uh, the United Nations can interfere and they can offer him a safe passage. Uh, it is not easy. Uh, I'm thankful actually that I am out of this garbage and I can speak freely. I wish for him the same and soon. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you.